Still have a little echo somewhere. Um, so we'll join today by Disney Magic Zack.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Let me throw up your little thing here. Zach, do you want to tell everybody a little about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Disney Magic Zack. I'm from the UK. I run a YouTube channel where I host a podcast and talk all things Disney. So feel free to check me out.
Cool. And we have the Leaving Today podcast guys, Mark and Udi. How you guys doing?
Hello, hello. We're doing great. How about you?
Good, good.
How you guys doing?
You guys want to give a little message about yourself?
Udi, you want?
Go ahead, Mark. All you, buddy.
So my name's Mark. I'm in the spotlight. Yeah, so my name's Mark. This is Udi over there. We've been doing the Leaving Today podcast audio version only for about 7 years now. We're going to record episode 183 this afternoon. We are an honest Disneyland podcast. We focus primarily on Disneyland, DCA, the company, the history of the parks, but we are not going to sprinkle pixie dust over anything. We love the parks and we're passionate, and we love to talk to artists, Imagineers, authors, anyone who's been involved with the Disneyland family. And we've got a pretty big community of listeners now. So here we are, and we're slowly getting into the YouTube age. And I guess it's my fault. We've been taking things too slow, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah, no worries. So I guess we wanted to have everybody join us just to have more of a conversation going. With all the negativity being thrown around Disney lately, last couple of years, really. I just want to take time and like focus on what we think Disney is doing right or good or better than they were, or whatever form and fashion you think that is. I'm going to go first and just throw it out there because I'm sure we're all thinking the same thing. But Disney Forward, if that comes about, or even just the thinking about it, I mean, it shows that they're trying to move in the right direction and expand things correctly, and hopefully that would lead to the Eastern Gateway and maybe even a third park in Anaheim. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah. I completely agree. I think Mark and I we've talked about it before with the Eastern Gateway project. When that first got announced, or the concept was coming out a couple years ago, we thought, what a great idea. There was a lot of issues that we discussed on the show, but overall, the positivity coming. And once Disney Forward came up, I think we've talked about it often, Mark and I. This is a positive. This is the movement for the future of Disney. What's going on over in Florida? Mark just was there a couple weeks ago, but here in Disneyland proper hasn't had anything big in a long time. We can argue Galaxy's Edge, how big of a thing that was, but really, Disney Forward, I think, is the way forward for Disney to grow. I'm hoping that Anaheim and the politics and political side of it gets alleviated and they can move forward with it.
Yeah,
definitely. We're all on board with that. Like, please make that happen.
Yeah, I also think. Yeah, I also think Disneyland, like California, needs something for itself rather than like just a copy from like a Florida park or something. So I think Disneyland Forward is a very good step forward for the park, for something original, something new, and something original for that park itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say this real quick. I completely agree. I think going on DCA has been moving forward in a positive direction also. But there are a few gaps in that swing, or holes in that swing right now, especially when we're coming to Adventures Campus. The overall intent was great. I think it's a good idea. Execution is a little bit lacking right now, but again, these are all little tidbits of pieces that kind of point in positivity in the way it should go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. For some reason, Mark is still echoing, but it's kind of weird since he has headphones.
And I'm not even saying anything.
No, I was testing it with the mute, and it was still cutting off, but I thought it's not as bad as it was, so we're going to just continue.
Okay.
Yeah, Disney Forward is great, and I hope, like you're all saying, like it'll bring a fresh start to the parks, and hopefully bring back in some kind of form and fashion some kind of people mover, even if it's like on the outside of the park. I'm really like hoping the Eastern Gateway takes place and there's like a different parking structure and they open it up to the businesses as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a major thing, not just like for the bridge and they can walk down, but so they can use the parking structure to go to those businesses as well.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
I think that would just make everybody happy.
Yeah.
No.
Simple answer. You want to liberate on that one there, Mark?
I mean, they tried that before, like with the with having like the Queen Mary stuff, and that's just I think that's beyond what Disneyland needs to be focusing on is Long Beach area. They have enough stuff to do in Anaheim if they're worried about Long Beach. So I don't see that in the Disney cards anytime in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus Long Beach has their handfuls with what they're doing with the Queen Mary and all that. So I don't even think Long Beach would want that at this point. Not in foreseeable future anyway.
Yeah, so to piggyback what you were saying, it's in the hands of the Anaheim City Council right now just to decide the fate of what Disney can do with their own property, even the property that they already own. But if that gets passed, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, then the Eastern Gateway is the first project that has to happen. Because if you're parking, people are going to still need to park somewhere. But this is a great way. We're trying to stay positive. This is a great thing that Disney is doing is creating more jobs, creating more areas of entertainment and experiences for guests, and they should definitely be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, the Disneyland Hotel would not go away. They would build around the hotels and add theme park around that.
Yeah.
You can check out DisneyForward.com. They'll give you more information. There's like a map with it's just all blue sky at this point, but
it's all like blueprints, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean it's just like a graphic mock
like
up,
the plans for like the city for the Anaheim City Council, I assume, for them to try and pass the building rights and everything.
Yeah.
Well, the issue is the rezoning. I think is the big hold up there.
Well, yeah, because it's zoned for residential and hotels and all that.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's kind of a thing. And what I have to dealing with coding and all that is a major thing that the wheels of government work really slow with. It takes a long, arduous process of red tape to get through things like that to change anything like that. It can take. I mean, another positive, I think our governor here in the state of California has kind of also, I think, sided with Disney a little bit and saying, hey, you got to push a little bit. So even I've heard and read that he's even trying to push to get this through. Okay, so I think, and I think we on our show have encouraged our listeners to go and support it. Like go look at the program, look at the plans, rather the concept and everything, and support it because I think more Disney in there is personally I think, regardless of anything, Disneyland in that park specifically is going to be what I grew up with Disney being. Not trying to throw shade at any other park, being that I haven't been to any other park, But I also recognize that Disneyland proper is where Walt walked, and no other real park can say that. So the certain level of reverence that they need to hold when developing something like that is also going to be important. So I have more faith in that project moving forward if they do, that it will be actually done to a super heightened level without going and critiquing different things that happen. But that's my expectation and my hope. So I'm telling everybody, like, let's get behind this initiative. Tell everybody, like, hey, this is a way forward, and this is a big, huge possible positive.
Yeah. Our friend Lewis is commenting, saying hello to all of us.
Hello,
Hello,
Lewis.
Lewis.
Nice to see you.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
I keep it. Okay. Any other thoughts on Disney Forward? Is anyone want to bring up another topic?
In regards to Disneyland Forward, everything we've seen is concept. There's conceptual art, but if you want a good indication of some of the stuff that they can do and should do, is check out World of Frozen at Hong Kong Disney. I think it opens up next month, about a month, end of November. Check out the videos, the POVs, the walkarounds. It is just mind blowing what they're able to do over there, and
it's beautiful.
it's beautiful, and I'm like, man, there's no reason why we can't have that over here. And,
of course,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could pretty much have anything as long as they just want to invest the money in it. And Japan and all that, they actually invest in their parks, and that whole 60 billion in the next 30 years, whatever. I mean, if that's true, then hopefully something like that could happen.
Well,
some great things coming possibly.
Well, not to bring the mood down, but 60 billion to me is like the bare minimum they should be doing right now. It's a little bit different. I find it interesting about how they're working in the overseas parks. There's a lot of I don't know how to put it without. It's interesting to me. I'll leave it at that. A lot of the money being invested in there, if I'm investing, it's going to be different. But 60 billion needs to be the minimum, in my opinion, because returning everything back to the core of the business is going to be super important right now for Disney, and that is the parks. That is 100% the parks. So I'm hoping 60 billion when they announced that was at two months ago, maybe 3 now. That I hope when they begin to invest that back in, that we're going to see the returns, and I guess that's where our part of being in the Disney community is that when Disney does something correct, that we flood in and go like, this is what we want. We support it wholeheartedly. That's why with the 60 billion, I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad I heard that number, but in my mind, I'm like, it needs to be higher because I think there are gaps that can be improved, and it's always the things like if we keep on pushing Disney and Disney management and corporate to keep on doing better and improving, we all win in the end, right? So 60 billion. I heard that. I'm like, good, but like we all follow. We know that the parks right now and the cruise lines are really buoying the company right now, and so that's why I'm like reinvest. So I was that's a good positive thing. It's a good positive thing that they're going to do that.
Yeah, because how much did Galaxy's Edge cost them? In that
I'm not sure on the exact number on that. Actually, the next thing I was going to mention was park repairs and retheming and stuff. So that kind of led directly into that. We are seeing a lot of things being touched up and repaired right now. Rides going down. The whole retheming for Tiana's stuff. I'm
excited for Tiana's Bio Adventure.
It seems like they could be good. I mean, I like what I've seen so far. I still would have preferred Splash Mountain remaining, at least in one of the parts.
of course, yeah. I mean, Splash Mountain is just a staple, isn't it, for the parks? But like you say, Walt always said, keep moving forwards. I think I think Tiana deserves a little bit of a spotlight. I feel like she's not really had much in the parks, to be fair. Rather, I know she's got. Has she got something at California? Or am I thinking wrong?
Well, like I said, there's Splash Mountain, and they have the restaurant.
Oh right, yeah, okay, yeah.
Which
So
the
she's
restaurant's
got
already
Tiana
good.
Palace. Yeah,
And there's an actual store in New Orleans Square.
Oh, that's right
for
too.
her
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Nice, yeah. But Tiana's one of my favorite princesses, so I'm down for more Tiana. I'm more for. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks really good from what I've seen so far, and yeah. How's it looking on your end at California? Is it looking the progress going good, or?
I haven't been for a minute. I haven't
Because I
been
tend to keep up with Disney World rather than Disneyland, so. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was just taking pictures of the one at Disney World a couple weeks ago, and I have not been to our park in like 4 or 5 months, but I do keep a daily or weekly, semi-weekly update on the progress.
yeah,
Disney World is a little bit further ahead, and I think that's because they started about 6 months before ours.
yeah, they started it earlier, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that the teams that started there have moved on to Anaheim, and they're working, I guess, day and night to get ours done. But progress, I mean, they're supposed to have it done by, I guess, time next year, is my guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Next
Hopefully,
year?
yeah, definitely.
So we go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead, but I'll show this one again.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You're the one who asked the question. So
Yeah. The Star Wars Galaxy's Edge came in just over 7.5 billion with rides.
That's between both, right? And both, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I keep on hoping that the other positive thing I'm going to pull when we go to Galaxy's Edge is the unlocking, what appears to be the unlocking of the timeline there. One of my critiques for Galaxy's Edge at the beginning was, okay, the concept and the idea was good, but it didn't really take. So what point in time do we need to evolve out of that? And it looks to me like they are. Like they're beginning to kind of unlock the land a little bit from time and open it up a little bit more. So I've been looking at little things like that, introducing Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Grogu. All these little things are all positive signs for them to realize, like, while the concept that Kathleen Kennedy and the story group and everything came up with for Galaxy's Edge wasn't bad. My critique has always been they just picked the wrong trilogy to go with, but that's another thing. It's a whole other topic. But the realization that maybe that isn't working as well and being able to move away from that is good. They're also adding new bots and little things like that. They're expanding also with their lightsabers and all these little tiny things. To me, are all positive sides. They're trying to acknowledge the bigger universe of Star Wars rather than keeping it locked into the sequel trilogy. So that's another positive for me. That they're doing that. I have my blue sky thoughts about what they should do in that land, and that's again a topic for another day. But those are also big positives for me. Seeing Mando and Grogu, Fennec, Boba Fett, the updated Boba Fett were all positive signs for me because that's definitely away from time lock into sequel trilogy.
Yeah. It was a definite good move for them to add all those characters to keep it like fresh in the Star Wars like Galaxy's Edge. So it's exciting. Like the interactions look really good, and I'm really happy to see that they've expanded further into it, despite what the concepts between the concept and like opening day. But it's going forward, I'm hoping they add more. They bring more characters, things like that. Some
Just
past
little robots.
The little robots, yeah, we need the little robots.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
BD.
Get Rico in there, get R2D2, get a BB-8 rolling around. I think that'd be pretty cool. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, those new BD1 droids. I mean, it shows you that they're still investing in the little roaming robots like they promised even before they had Galaxy's Edge even thought of. Like they had them roaming around in Tomorrowland back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, bring these characters, which I think they kind of pulled back because they wanted to do that for the the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Well, that's gone now, so there we go.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it
Take
is.
all
But
of the ideas from that and put them in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
There we go.
there's also rumors that they're going to revamp it and make it less.
Yeah, I heard
whatever.
that.
But
I
who
heard
knows?
that yesterday.
Make it more affordable, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, I heard those rumors and I started digging away, and the other end of it is that there's a legal end of it because of what they did to write it down. So if they have to bring it back, they have to do a fairly big revamp. I mean, almost to the point where it may not even be Star Wars. It's got to be big. It's got to be big because of the tax liability with it. Without going into the minutia of it, but it's not as easy. Like, okay, we're going to bring it back. It's going to take time. So if it does come back, in a Star Wars theme, it's either going to be drastically altered or it's going to have to be far enough down the road that they won't face any potential tax violations. Nothing would make me happier for it to bring it back, and then I call me stickler, but OT is always the best. I read a comment in there from Dr. Gonzalez about it. They would have been better best in the original trilogy and legacy characters when I agree. And I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the failure of that hotel is telling. And again, the willingness to kind of back away from that, some people take it as a negative. Again, I take it as a positive. Like, okay, they're recognizing, like, hey, this isn't sustainable. Whatever we're trying to do isn't working. What do we do moving forward? So these are all little steps in the positive direction.
Yeah. No, that was actually on my list too. Like, why bringing that down, canceling it, even the movies like the Snow White and recently the Daredevil show.
Yep.
They realize stuff, even though it hasn't even come out yet, it's not going to work. No, but I mean, they're listening to what people were saying.
Yeah.
Even what's his name? Charlie, the actor. I forgot his last name.
Not, I think.
Sheen?
No.
The actor for Daredevil, right?
Yeah. He was saying that he didn't like the way certain things were going, and they weren't listening to him. And now I think they finally see the writing on the wall, and rather than put out something that is going to fail, just kill it now and rethink that. Same thing with the Star Cruiser.
Take it back to the drawing board, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it takes a few years, then let it take a few years and do it right way.
And this is where I find it interesting with the writer strike and the continuing strikes with the actors. I think it's crazy, but I think it's giving Disney kind of a pause. Like, okay, we're getting a hard pause on what we're doing, and it looks to me like they're, because of a whole bunch of factors, but they're now looking at it and going, are we really on a good path? Is the direction we're moving in good? And the fact that they pulled back Daredevil, I don't know what's going on with Snow White. I've heard back and forth about Snow White. I won't go into Snow White because I will be here for 20 minutes ranting about that.
Well, it's officially canceled now. So is
it? I haven't heard that. Well, good. I'll leave it at that because I'll leave my rant for my show. These are the Daredevil I heard and I went, you know what? Good. That made me really happy because you could argue that Daredevil, coming from a Netflix over, was probably the best Marvel property. Yeah. I loved it in Netflix. I mean, the way, everything about it, how they portrayed Foggy, everybody. So when I saw what they did to him in the Hulk, whatever that was, the She-Hulk, it hurt me a little bit. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do Daredevil was Reborn.
Yeah.
Reborn, right?
I think so, yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. And they said it's going to be taken off of that. And I went, oh no, like they're not looking at what the character is. So when I heard that, I was like, thank goodness, like the light bulbs are starting to come on. Yeah. That what they've been doing as a whole, there's going to be people who like it, okay, but on the larger scale, a lot of people are not going to like it, and they're not going to do what they need to do to support that IP or that project.
Yeah, then it's not going to receive well in a further light, like, you know, further down the line when they want to do something again. I was like, oh, that was terrible. Like, no, like say they're starting to listen, which is a good thing because, like, you know, the fans know what they want. I think, you know, I think we know what work. I want to say we know what works best, but I might be wrong. But for the most part, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing that we do as fans is that I mean it's in the word fan, right? We're fanatics about it. We invest time, energy, and effort into what we like. So we're, to me, always a true fan is not going to be that type of guy who gets upset and pissed off when he doesn't get what he wants. They should have done it this way. If not, it's horrible, right?
Yeah, of course.
They're willing to look at whatever they're given and give an honest critique and enjoy what it is. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars guy. I have another show that's nothing but Star Wars, and there have been moments in time where Star Wars has really pressed me to be like, "Oh man, come on, what are you guys doing?"
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, we know what we're going to be drawn to. You know, we have our likes and dislikes, and that is the biggest thing. So remove anything other than top it. We like what we like. And if Disney continues to do what they've done in the past 5 years, 10 years, is continue to feed that, we are going to be here. We will take anything that we've not liked and we can go past that because at the end of the day, we're still true to what Walt and what Disneyland is, you know, and what Disney.
Of course,
we still connect with that. So whenever they give us those like straight pathways back to that, we go in there and we just run down that road because we love that, we enjoy that. So when all these things, some people look as negative. I'm like, good job, guys. Like you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're hearing us, you're recognizing that there are good ways to go. And when you do that, we're going to come back. We're going to be right here. We're going to continue to follow along with the company and what we're getting. So when it comes to the park, too, it opens up the park. I mean, we can go on and on about that, too. It's nothing but a positive after positive. They continue down this path.
It's like a domino effect.
Exactly. Like we're going to go down and then that will happen and that IP will accept it and then they can keep on going. And they can pretty much jump on exactly what I mean. Marvel Universe right there is a perfect example. They start off with Iron Man, 10 years. I mean, think about that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what am I wearing right now?
Yeah.
You know? So that's what it is. So all the signs are pointing to them kind of going, okay, we're going to go here and like, we got to come back. So, yeah, it's all good to me right now.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where I was going with this is there seems like they're finally starting to listen to us. And like I said, hopefully that leads to the parks and, you know, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it, Magic Passes. But you know what I mean? Like, if they're going to do it right, let's do it right. And if they're going to listen to us, then, you know, hopefully that comes about and it all comes together like it should.
Jay, don't.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Went like that. That's what you just.
Udi's struggling, boys. He's struggling.
So then I'll open it up to we're talking about Downtown Disney. The Disneyland Hotel. They just opened up the DVC villas, which look awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, don't they?
Yeah, I mean the rooms look good. It has like those different theme, even though it kind of still fits in. It was kind of smart the way they did the colors on the sides and how it ties into all the movies. It looks pretty cool, and they did a good job on that. So, the other thing,
Disney are getting very smart with their like hotel designs nowadays. Like some of them, they've got those like sleek accents, but they're still like very heavily like Disney themed. They're just beautiful. Some of them, like they're doing a smashing job with them. To be fair. Really, really good with them. Like some of the Polynesian villas, the DVC villas at Polynesian at Disney World, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Like little like bungalows, just right on Bay Lake. They're fantastic. So nice.
Yeah, those are incredible. Yeah.
So who anybody want to start so we can all like rent out that really big one for a night? Anybody who's down?
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah,
The
$6
12-person one.
I would be
One,
happy if
just
we.
one,
Yeah,
just one night.
I would be happy if I just got a regular room at like Grand California.
Oh
man.
yeah.
Our other co-host
Yeah.
Jess has stayed in that hotel a few times. It's gorgeous in there. Yeah.
The Grand Californian looks
Mhm.
gorgeous. And I
Yeah,
love
I've
that
stayed
it's
there
the
before.
fact it goes straight into DCA as well. That's just fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, it is. So on the positive thread, we're talking about downtown Disney. Now what they're doing, I love that new. I know for that little section they're calling it. I think it's called Marketplace or something. Is going to be there's a stage and 4 new restaurants are going to come in that section. A major
Nice.
design win for them. It doesn't compare at all to Disney Springs. Those are not even the same concept, but it's a step in the right direction for what we have. Although curious, because if you look at the Disneyland Forward, going back to that, like their design, looks like that isn't even going to be part of it. So it's bad that we're getting this new section that's going to have more guests experience that downtown Disney area. So that's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also kind of weird how they're retheming some of the other restaurants to make them a little more contemporary, and yet you have some of this new stuff that you're talking about, and like the Din Tai Fung, where it's got the Japanese roof style, like curves up and everything, and those like you said, the stages looks like a 60s 50s kind of. David Fresh Bay calls it a guitar pick, but it's got that shape, and it's got some not Monero, Space Mountain vibes with their spires on there. So it's like a completely 180 from what they're doing in the rest of downtown Disney.
Yeah.
But that's like you were saying, that's a good thing because it's a whole different design aspect that is kind of cool.
It is
bit of individuality, bit of like
yeah, for sure. And I know we're not trying to be negative or anything like that, but I just while down area, I would love, and I brought this up on our show, if we had like an Indiana Jones themed restaurant, perfectly lends itself to that, and then you would have guests going, "Hey, I can go down to a restaurant that's nowhere else." I wish they would do that. They've done something like that in Disney Springs with Jock Lindy's, right?
Oh yeah. I was going to mention Lindsay because that's Indiana Jones, isn't it? That looks so good.
It is, yeah. But now it's the Star Wars Outpost, I guess. That whole architecture lends itself to in jungle theming, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be negative, but throwing on a couple satellite dishes is not a theme like for Star Wars. I'm just saying I totally agree that the Rainforest
Jason, what do you mean? It's the best space junk in the galaxy.
Well, they left the leaves above the monorail. The monorail station, the roof, those are actually leaves from when it used to be Rainforest Cafe.
Oh,
yeah.
And they just painted them blue.
You're totally right on that. Yeah, they totally did.
That's weird. I didn't even know that.
That's funny.
Another
Imagineering.
Before we go too far from DCA, I like the rethink with San Francisco. I mean, I haven't been there, but everything I've seen from it,
that looks so good. Looks so good. I'm a big Hero 6 fan, so that was like when that got announced. I need to get that. I need to see this. It looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. The food looked pretty good too. So, and that was. I'm glad they did that there. There are certain re-things and things of that nature that are really positive. And that's another really good one for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
for sure.
in recent,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say, just in recent years, like the whole theming of, Pixar Pier, which was Paradise Pier. I think it came out just for the better. It didn't change much. This repainting and renaming things, but the whole look of the whole pier now, I think it's more cohesive and it feels a little better. I think.
Yeah, it does look it looks a lot better.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I agree.
the kind of the thing with the retheme is, I mean, it's always good when I mean, for me, DC has always been the park where if you're going to experiment with an idea, that's where you go, right? Because you can figure out what looks good, what doesn't look good. Disneyland proper for me is like, how do I put it?
Holy sacred ground,
holy land, right? Like sacred land, like. Whatever you're gonna do, man, you better. I mean, you can go back to a conversation we had pre-Galaxy's Edge opening, and I think it's like episode 75 on ours.
Okay.
Huh, Mark? Oh,
So
that was what we call a dark episode, I think, because we went like really dark, like black pilled on that one. Because I mean, me being a Star Wars fan,
that could be most episodes, Rudy.
Oh, is it? Good news. No, but that was it because like as much as I was for it, I also realized where they're putting it, and I kind of like I got the heebie-jeebies. Like this could be bad. This could be really bad,
right?
And especially if you're putting it there. So when I walked the land, I'm like, oh. Whew. Anyway, I was super happy, still am. But going back to it, so I'm glad whatever they're going to do in that nature. That's why the Avengers Campus, like, I want them to continue to grow on that idea because I think that is perfect place for that. It doesn't belong over in Disney or anywhere, or even incorporate into downtown Disney or anything like that. Like that's where it needs to stay because I think that's the growth of that land. I mean, when they did the hard turn away from California and they started retheming it. Oh God, Mark, help me what year that was? But anyway, that
so when
is where it needs to go. When they went away and they started doing the retheme, the second retheme, not the first one.
Yeah, when they put in the Buena Vista Street.
That's like 2013, I think.
Okay. I
2013?
think it's right in there. And they need to continue that. So I hope they do. So when they did that, when they did San Francisco, I'm like, good, another positive view of like, okay, we recognize we need to keep on evolving that. I mean, DCA is like DCA's Disneyland test lab for me, so go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also in a way it's like their mini Epcot, like with their food and wine things they do too. Even that's like a testing kind of ground too.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, jumping over to Florida, the Moana Journey of Water.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's kind of at the wrong place, but what they did and the way they did it, I think came out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks very good. It looks very good. I'm hoping as well the retheming of Epcot. Lord knows it's been so long, but I'm hoping it turns out good, like good enough for some of the art and development looks fantastic. What they've opened already, but that Moana bit, it especially at night time, it just looks phenomenal. It really does, and all the interactive bits just look very, very fun. Yeah. Did you experience it when you was over there?
No, I did my research on that part, so where it was, because honestly, the Florida park degrees of knowledge from what I know about Disneyland. Yeah. So I had to do a ton of research about where and we walked by it, but you couldn't go in it at all.
Yeah.
And when the sun, it was dumping rain, so we didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to take our time and look at stuff, but other than that, Epcot was beautiful. I loved it, and I would go back there tomorrow, and I just wish like Udi could, or we can go at some point, because I know for a fact he would love that park, especially like the World Showcase. It
Oh
so
yeah,
fun.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a very good part. I love Epcot. It's one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I've said in the past, like I'm a big fan of like edutainment, big fan of like learning things in like an interactive way. Epcot
Yeah.
does a great job with that and has done in the past. I'm
Yeah.
hoping they touch more roots with that in as the development goes on and things like that. But Moana's a really strong competitor for that, for like learning the interaction of like the water cycle, and it just looks so fun.
And again, going back to Disneyland Forward, I mean, there's no reason why we can't get that, out here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%,
Right,
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Well, having said that, Mark, where would you put that? DCA downtown or?
I would probably put it over at Toy. That acreage is bigger than DCA's acreage, and it is just a parking lot. Get this Eastern Gateway developed and up and running, and then you start to like the Toy Story lot.
Yeah.
The one that's right across the street from the convention center, and acreage than DCA. So if you can, so they could do whatever they wanted over there. So that would be my guess, unless they want to put it over on the DCA side of Disneyland Hotel, what that land is. That could be good for that. But I would love that. And I know they're talking about. You said people mover coming out. I've heard that actually go out there. And people talk about this $1 million a foot or mile to build that out there. But how about you guys? Where would you want to see that, Westcott?
I think I would agree. Having like a whole new park for that and tie it in with other animations besides stuff that's like already in the parks, and maybe even incorporate a little Disney Springs actions like they have on their Disney Forward plan. You have like like you said, you have so much space over there. You could have a whole little shopping section with like maybe even a hotel there and still have room for the park.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the other like linchpin Garden Grove. Is that what's called Garden Grove?
Garden Walk.
The Garden Walk. Yeah, if they can somehow get that. I remember like years ago it was for sale, and Disney could have bought it. They chose not to get themselves for that because that is a whole section that connects the Toy Story to that other. I forget what that one is called. But it's right off Arbor that they sell it. But it's at the end of where the Eastern Gateway would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure if Disney wanted that property, they probably could easily get it from them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, that's where we kind of go back to, I think, the political side of it. That if they can handle that and get all that, a lot of that needs to get just opened back up to a place where they can develop again. The Garden Walk is we've talked about it often, that Garden Walk area is prime real estate to increase over, the overall size of the resort. I hate using that term, but that's what they use for Disneyland. So I like that Disneyland Forward. I mean, I wouldn't mind that over there. I think once we get there, I'm going to stay positive and say we are going to get there. It'll be interesting to see where they can put that and how they want to go.
Yeah.
And I wonder I know they're supposed to vote on this next year or early next year. And let's say they get the green light on this. I want to start doing shovel to ground and start demoing. I mean, I'd be curious. What do you guys think? I mean, we have. I know the Olympics are 2028. And yeah,
You got cut off there.
So,
Sorry.
Oh, you muted me?
Yeah. No, you got cut off. But I think what you're saying is when do you think they would start developing?
Because I think the Summer Olympics are here, and I'm just wondering if they were to start next year, is that enough time to get things?
Honestly, from what I've heard, they wouldn't even start developing until like 2030. Like the actual developing, like planning wise, I think would start now. But
Yeah.
Things that I've heard from other people say, and I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but that's what I've heard. So
no, and I agree with that. It's going to be really curious when they greenlight the project, how much they're going to get out of the way and let them go. Obviously, in Florida, with what they have with the Reedy Creek and all that going on, they have a little bit of a easier path to developing and building on that property. Over here in Southern California, completely different ball of wax there.
it's completely different down there too.
All residential, isn't it? Like near you, in Anaheim and things like that, where Disney World itself, they own pretty much all of that land that's on.
So I mean that's really the crux of the whole thing is like being able to do that. So that's the other part of it, because I would love for it to go quickly. But do I know how government operates, and especially government in this state operates? Yeah, it's probably pretty quick. Sad to say. But yeah, I mean, I'm more along the lines of things where Jay's at, that shovel in the ground won't be for 4 years probably.
Yeah.
At the minimum.
I'm not okay with that.
Yep.
Well, we don't want them to rush to things they've done recently, like Downtown Disney, that whole retheme. Like they're still working on it because they rushed it. So having them take their time, like we were saying just about the TV shows, let them take the time they need to do to develop things correctly.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's just getting through the red tape first.
Right. What we're saying though, with the whole Disney Forward is just all blue sky right now. There is no actual plan, is from what I hear. It's all concept.
Well, at least they have something, and they actually have the website to go to and all that. They didn't really have that with that hotel that they're thinking of building, but this, at least they have everything to show,
right,
for everybody to take a look at. And hey, we want to try this, and we want to put
it's still concept though.
Yeah, exactly. But at least they have something,
Yeah, they have ideas.
No, I think honestly. Oh, go ahead. No, I think honestly, I think they've got plans for everything. They've got plans for Tomorrowland, Disney. They've got plans for Disney Forward, and I mean those Imagineers are super talented, and like designs for all this stuff. But the budget has to jive with what they want to do. The political stuff in regards to the Anaheim City Council. So I would like to think they would have something in place before 2028 for the Olympics.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Well,
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it is a good sign that they have the website. They have a lot of that thing out there. The other parts of it, when they're doing Eastern Gateway and all these other things, have been kind of a little bit more below the radar. This is infinitely more upfront.
Yeah.
So
I hope we get more information at D23 as well next year, like with some kind of not blue sky, more like definite plans of like, this is what we're planning to do. This is, we've got the plans in motion, hopefully for both, for Disneyland Forward and everything like that. So, I mean, all we can do is wait and see. But I mean, I'm kind of hopeful that they announce something next year, like another big project.
Well, when D23 in the news and things were coming out with D23, I remember thinking it didn't feel like a lot of concrete thing. I think a lot of criticism was where the big plans, and I think I said the moment was like it. I feel like everything at that point was like we're at 80% of the point of being able to unveil it, but we're not there yet. So we're gonna have to kind of fill, and then we'll be ready for the next one.
Yeah,
even having in Florida, I still have that same feeling. So I'm with you with that I'm hoping next D23 is they'll have a much better clear, like, solidified plan and of where they're going to go, and they can fully like unveil. Because we all know that, I mean, if you follow any of this stuff long enough, you're going to realize that the idea from concept to execution and delivery, that's a big road to take.
Yeah,
And
it's a long road. Yeah,
there's a
lot of bumps. It's
Just so like Galaxy's Edge, how long did that take from concept to finish?
exactly that years, absolute years, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, so we started our podcast in February of 2016. I think by that, they had already announced Disneyland Galaxy's Edge. They must have, right?
I think we were right there. It was shortly after. It might have been shortly after when we started. Without looking hard.
It finally opened in August of 2019.
19, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 years. I know so that's three and a half years after announcement. That surprisingly enough, not to be negative, but the treehouse is almost taking as long as Galaxy's Edge.
That was the next thing on my list. Yeah.
The Adventureland treehouse.
Can I? Saying positive though, what do you guys think of the whole New Orleans Square with the Haunted Mansion overflow auxiliary?
Oh right.
What? Yeah, the Magnolia Park section of New Orleans Square.
I said this before. Like the Haunted Mansion overflow queue was already going there anyway, so it just makes more sense.
Sure.
It just didn't go in the little back corner where the fast passes were. That back corner,
right?
It didn't go there though.
Well,
they're going to probably
now
use it now. So.
But the whole main reason for this is wheelchair access. So now that'll go behind everything.
Okay.
So yeah, having that come out there and splitting it right down the middle where that fountain is, and then having a fountain built into the wall, that's like a cool idea because you're still have the fountain. Although that grass area is actually a dog park or whatever, you can.
Oh right,
your dog can go.
You can open that gate and let your dog in there. Yeah.
Although I don't see too many dogs.
No,
I haven't either. No.
It's only service.
I love the Madame Leota's gift shop. Isn't that what? Is that what
right.
Like tentatively. Great idea to have that there.
Yeah.
Again, they already have like a little setup thing for gifts. So yeah, again, it just makes more sense to have something permanent and have it tied in theme wise, and even in making it a little bigger than what they have there. Because
I just wish they opened the back, the old
pet cemetery.
Yeah.
The pet cemetery.
Yeah.
Well, I think the theming behind the store is ingenious. So I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's becoming interactive as well, isn't it? Like interactive queue. Is that like how it is at Disney World? Like interactive bits.
Oh, like the bus and all that. You can. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I would imagine they must do something, but I haven't heard anything about that. But
I'm sure.
I'd be interested to see if they do that.
They need.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool for yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially if they were extending it as well. Like, keep you all entertained whilst you're waiting. For the main attraction.
Shade.
Yeah, absolutely. Need the shade. Yes.
Yeah.
So going back to the Adventureland Treehouse, what are you guys' thoughts on that? It's like weird because it's not Swiss Family, but it is Swiss Family.
Mm-hmm. I like that they're doing more sea like lore within the parks. Like I'm a big fan of like the sea kind of Society like park lore and stuff. Yeah, it's Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Yeah. I love all of that. I wholly think it's a very good move forward. It's something original, like we were talking in the past, like originality, like something new, something fresh. Something that's not fully Swiss Family Robinson is kind of IP, but it's not. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks, and I'm glad that they're tying it into like park lore and things like that within Adventureland. So, how about you guys? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, real quick, Udi and I brought this up one of our shows. That it just adds to the aesthetics and atmosphere of Adventureland, especially especially talking about that.
Yeah,
if you're walking through, or even if you're just on maybe these green and blue glows out in the trees, and that is so and like it to me, we haven't had that for I guess 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. It adds to the character of the area. I can't wait to see it at night.
At night should be really cool.
Oh, amazing! So having that kind of thing, and then I completely going back to any kind of that explorer. I've been yelling a lot, that the IPs that need to be developed in the park aren't the bought and paid for ones that we've been getting as of late. We need to get back to developing original IP. So
that's what Jason was saying too.
Yeah. And you're a smart man, Jay. And when I saw the treehouse, and I saw, because we had an argument with our other co-host Jess about what was going to go in there because no one knew, and when they unveil that, I'm like, thank goodness, because it does it lends itself back to IPs, things of what founded the company. So super excited to go see it. I can't wait. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I hope what they added to it so it extends in the back so you can actually see the Jungle Cruise would be kind of cool if you could see
epic.
That
would be
epic. 100%. That'd be cool.
You are you definitely spot on that. But that's a great idea and a great point, and I hope you're right because we've never had that experience before.
No. I mean, you can see out through the rivers, but you can't see the other way.
True. Yeah.
And as Steve, as you like to point out all the time when we talk about Indiana Jones, you were supposed to see that from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So having that in the treehouse, like that would kind of, I don't know, tie that in,
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else on my list. You guys have anything else that we haven't mentioned yet?
Add Tron.
Add Tron. Well, can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah. You mean like in Tomorrowland or something?
Well, I mean, you brought it up. You tell me.
Oh, Dr. Gonzalez brought it up.
Well, he's not on the chat. He's not on the video. We brought it up enough
Tomorrowland
times.
Or even in Disneyland Forward. Have its own little.
Oh, you're thinking like a carbon copy of the Light Cycle Run? Or
No. There's no way that'll fit in Disneyland. So
yeah.
What
would be the ideal ride then? Something like IP Tron wise? What do you think?
Jason had a good idea.
Steve doesn't want to talk.
Go for it. I want to hear it. No,
I'm just here for the looks, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this before. My idea would have been changing Tomorrowland into Tron altogether.
Okay.
By day, it would be retro futuristic, kind of like Space Mountain vibes.
Yeah.
But at nighttime, make it all dark and lit up and everything.
Wait! I got one for you. Cool. Arcade turning into flames.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Flames.
Yeah. But then change the Autopia to be the Light Runner, not the Light Cycle, but the Light Runner cars, and they're all electric and they light up at night and all that.
Nice. That sounds good. Yeah. The end of the line club from Tron Legacy. I agree. That
wouldn't be bad. Yeah,
you could actually change that DVC club or extend the DVC club and change that to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need the right music playing.
I would just open up that whole thing and make it a giant restaurant. something.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Double decker. Actually, I think it's 3 stories technically.
We were just talking about the whole Space Mountain thing, remember, and making it like the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
On
the inside anyway.
On the inside, yeah.
So like instead of projecting things, because we were doing the ride through on the Ghost Galaxy Halloween retheme, whatever, layover. There you go. So you instead of having projection overlay, there you go. And having like certain parts of the track getting in the way or whatever, you just have the whole walls LED panels, and
it
doesn't have to be lit up all at once, obviously, because you still want it to be dark. But I just think of the things they could do in there.
Yeah,
be awesome.
So you know how they had Circle Vision 360 way back when. Yeah, now you can do it in
you're going back.
In the
that'd be great.
The carousel, have the seats in there and have the whole thing just light up like the Sphere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's several different ways you could tie it in.
Yeah.
That would be expensive, but because I think that whole thing.
That's part of the 60 billion. So.
Well, I mean, I think the whole. If I've seen this correctly, that whole thing in Vegas, I think was like 20 billion just by itself or something like that.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, we got enough. They have enough. They said
yeah,
60,
sure.
Yeah, they got 40 left. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna spend our whole budget on that one thing.
As long as they stop losing money in movies, they're fine.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
That seemed a bit negative. That's okay.
I couldn't help that one. I'm sorry.
I had my little.
DJ, you were thinking it. I just got excited.
You know what they should do? Have like, if we're gonna take turn Tomorrowland into Tron, Blue Sky, take the idea of Westcott, but make it like the circles, like make it hollow in the middle, and then make it like the data packs on like the backs. That'd be cool. As like the icon of Tomorrowland. Get rid of the Astro Orbiters. Get rid of that. But yeah.
No matter what they do, just get rid of that.
Yeah.
Actually, that is kind of funny.
Back somewhere.
One of the things, and I have a video of this too.
What we did?
No, like this is before we even restarted everything. Like I think it was like 2 years ago. Me talking about my vision of Tomorrowland or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of the things I said was we needed some kind of icon in the middle that lit up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that was like based on what like how Epcot had the spires come back with their fountain.
Yeah.
Like, you need something like that, and the Tron aspect would fit right in.
Yeah, because it'd be like a monolith. It'd be like a monument rather than. It'd be cool. I think it'd look really cool. Make it like.
Yeah.
Make it like a giant, like a giant pillar, and then have it like sat on top, and then have it like light up, but have like the lights going round like a track, so it's like a Tron track. Oh,
that'd be cool.
I've just amazed myself.
What I always see in my head is the Tron poster though, where they're holding up the disc with the lights.
Yes, yeah, nice, yeah.
So like if you had a light going straight up and you had like circles like the disc going around it, that'd be kind of cool.
Well, circles is a recurring theme in that whole movie, that whole franchise. So,
I mean, yeah.
Circles or hexagons kind of play on the ground, and yeah. Honestly, I just want to see the light up tank rolling around Tomorrowland.
That would be
cool. Yes.
What was that, Steve? How'd that go?
Oh man.
That is the best like sound effect ever. Just the way the jaw moved, it was like I love it.
So
just not here, so I gotta make sound effects.
Steve's all silent, and all of a sudden it's like the best thing out of the whole video.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it focused on Steve for a while.
You can look back here. Look at that thing there.
Oh, what's that, Steve? Is that a little TV?
Oh, I like your hat.
Yeah.
I like your hat, Steve. By the way, I just noticed it.
Oh, thank you.
That reminds me of a shirt I made that said D, Walt.
Yeah, yeah.
It was my
So, Jason, when you gonna send Steve that submarine?
You had to bring that up. All right, so I'll tell the story.
All right, I'm waiting for it.
So Steve and I, we did a ride-through video on the submarine, the
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Okay, I was
Finding Nemo submarine voyage. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And Steve was like, I don't think I've seen toys, based on that. And I was like, I swear I've seen toys. So after the video, I went out and I searched and I found one. Well, I found two. One was like a baby toy, so it's like, no, it's like looks like all fat and whatever. So then I found this thing, and it I could have swore it looked bigger.
It's one of those wish things.
This thing cost me $10, by the way. $10 plus shipping.
From Wish, right? So you got.
I found this on eBay.
Submarine.
I found this on eBay, but it was like this in the photo, but like. So so I'm gonna send this to Steve at some point.
Oh, dude. Oh my god!
It's the funniest thing ever.
It's like that guy ordering that carpet, and it was for a dollhouse. It was like this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got taken on that one. That's all right. It's still there is a toy, okay? I swear.
one toy and probably a plush.
I think there was other ones like back in the day before it was Nemo, but
oh
I
yeah,
couldn't
back in
find
the
it.
day,
Yeah.
Like in the 70s and 80s, there was probably a replica that you could put in the bathtub.
Yeah, I bet there is something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just to be right back.
Yep.
And then there was 4.
Yeah.
All right. Seriously, I've exhausted my list. Does somebody have something else?
No,
otherwise I'm gonna start being negative.
Other than the constant food improvement, which is funny coming from me, for anybody who knows me, but yeah, they're paying attention to that, and they have been for a while now.
Actually, there has been quite a few new food things coming out here and there, just like one-off specials for holidays or whatnot. Especially in Florida. I think they always do a good job on that. I just haven't been there to try it, so I can't really speak.
Well,
I just remember Disneyland just having hamburgers all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. And I will. We're in the perfect time of the year to bring up this one real quick. Is just the holiday over thing. I mean, they always do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're when you want to look at it, we're really spoiled by it. I think
there's snow already on the castle.
Yeah, there is.
Yep.
I think the whole, we're saying like the food and wine, that brings in different foods all the time, drinks and all that. I think at least in Florida, that happens like 3 or 4 times a year now. Like,
often, yeah.
Just make it permanent already. Just
no.
Stop calling them something different, like the flower and garden. Like, I don't know. It should just be permanent. And I think in DCA, it should just be permanent now. You got the space for it.
I agree.
Stuff set up.
I agree. And if anything, you can do more seasonal to the time of year.
Yeah. I mean, change out the food and all that, but just leave the booths. You can change out the booths even too, but just have something there.
Yeah, sure.
Just gives it more a reason. Zach, any thoughts on food?
Food. I like food.
Food is good.
Food is good.
I like Disney food. You have
fish are friends, not food. If I've jumped into the convo properly, we're talking about like DCA's like food festivals.
Well, I mean anything, but yeah, we were talking about that. I was saying make it permanent, but same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the thing with Epcot though is they have a festival all year round, don't they? Pretty much. I think there's only a couple of months of the year where they don't have one.
That's what I was saying.
I don't know how often are they at Disneyland or DCA?
It's like twice a year.
Once, yeah,
Twice a
once
year.
a-
Because
yeah,
you've got
twice
the
a year.
Lunar New Year one, haven't you? Which is like the Chinese New Year one, and then you've got what's the other one? Is there
The
I
the
think it's
wine,
food and wine still.
food
the
and
Food and
wine.
Wine Festival?
That's
Yeah,
in the
Wine
spring.
Expo.
I think that's
Yeah.
in the spring.
It is, yeah.
yeah. Mm.
I'm
Yeah, I
just
think
saying that they have the space.
yeah,
should
they
just
could have the
leave 'em-
space. I
leave
think
'em
they
up.
could just keep them there. Maybe just do make a couple more festivals, make a couple more like food festivals for it. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe not carbon copy the ones from Epcot, but like make it like take a leaf out of their book essentially and try and bring it over to the West Coast. I think that'd be a good idea. Like
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
kind of what we're saying, except don't make it something. Just make it whatever you want it to be. You don't have to name
yeah,
it
okay,
anything. And make it
yeah,
seasonal, whatever.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
have something there all the time.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
I think it'd work seasonal, like Halloween kind of, and
yeah.
Christmas
I'm
time.
just glad
that
they're
kind of
doing
stuff.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about like food in general? Is there anything that you go to that you really like that stands out, or
Anything but English food?
Nah, you know what? I don't go for English food when I'm over there. To be fair, I like
I've heard
experiments
English
with
doesn't really make food. Is that true?
See, I'm not a stereotypical Brit because I'm a very good cook, so you know.
You mean bland food is not the way to go? I'm just saying.
Absolutely not. No, your taste buds need to tingle a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic, so yes, I do.
There we go. Yeah. So no food. I gravitate towards. I don't know. I'm a not spicy, but tasteful, like flavorful. So anything that's got a bit of a kick to it. Like I'm a big fan of like, kind of like I don't know, man. I I don't like anything really. Like anything that I can't. There's nothing really that stands out. It's kind of just like the moment on the day. But there's some staples that I do like. I do like. I mean, the Mickey pretzels are always a good shout for me. I love the Mickey pretzels. The cheese sauce could be desired to be changed a little bit, but hey,
how do you
it is
feel
what
about
it is.
their corn dogs or churros?
Love churros. Churros are a good shout always. Corn dogs, yeah, I'm down for a corn dog. We don't have them we don't really have it over here as like like a type of food over here, like like festivals and fun fairs and things. But when you do get the chance to have one, it's a good shout. It's a good shout, especially with like a I don't know, like a sweet chili sauce. That's always a good shout. I think bit of mustard. Yeah.
So I keep telling Zach that one of these days we're all going to be on couches, just relaxed and
I
everything.
know.
He makes it look so. He's just like laid back. It's so awesome.
It's honestly, Jason, the best investment I've ever made. I swear. Honestly, 100%.
Well, it ties in because it's later for you, so you're like,
That's
Yeah,
it.
he's ready to go to bed.
It's
Oh, it's
20
10
past-
o'clock over where you're at.
Yeah, it's like 20 past 10. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, hunkering down a little bit. I could use that as an excuse, but because it's like an L-shaped couch as well. I've got my feet up on like the L shape, and it's just like it's just the best.
I could see us doing one day, and we look at Zach, and he's asleep.
I'll just be plunked out like this, like
Yeah.
So, guys, welcome to the podcast.
all right. Someone bring up another topic.
Also, the pants don't match the. You're not meant to see my legs. YouTubers don't have legs.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs is that on your pants? Is that a dog?
I think it's a horse.
Oh, it's a horse.
That's a,
Yeah,
Is a horse wearing pajamas?
is a horse or a horse?
horse. For the longest time, I thought it was a llama, and I don't know why. I was like, "This is a weird looking llama."
Oh, it's funny.
But then clearly the shirt is like also obscene as well because it's flamingos and bananas. So
That's Florida right there.
Absolutely.
I don't know where bananas come from, but
Hashtag Florida life.
he's
Get
already
me
ready for next year when he goes.
Absolutely. I'll be rocking these shirts in the parks.
So Udi, never been to Florida? Is that
No, I have not. One day, maybe next year. I was
Steve
hoping
hasn't
this
either.
year, but
Well,
work.
well, I'm planning to go August next year for my 30th birthday. So, if all of y'all want to come and have a party, we can do it. Let's go.
August. Wait, in 1 year? So we're talking 1 year?
Yeah, next year. Yeah, next year. I'm going August the 14th to the 28th.
May have to go. That's far
Yeah,
enough.
100%. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can all just like meet up there and
100%. And if any of y'all play golf, I know Steve plays golf. If any of y'all play golf, I'm booking a game of golf for the 20th, which is my birthday. Let's get out on the tees and just have a good time. You know what I mean? A couple of beers. That'd be good. It's the only game you can drink and drive. It's fine.
Where are you? You say Magnolia? Is that where you're golfing?
Yeah, Magnolia or the Palm is the two that I'm looking at. Just because it looks so beautiful. I'm leaning more towards the Magnolia, I think, just because it just looks so beautiful and peaceful, and yeah, it looks so nice.
Is that on Disney property?
Yeah, so they have I believe they have 4 on property. I think they have 4 golf courses. They have 3. Yeah,
they got the room for it over there.
Yeah, 100%. They've got 3 18-hole courses, and then they've got like a 9-hole course. Yeah, and that a while back as well, like early 2000, like late 90s, early 2000s. Which one was it? I think it was the Palm. I think the Palm was home to a tournament in the PGA actually. So they're all like PGA regulated courses as well, which is very cool. Yeah. So be a bit of a challenge for, but yeah, looking forward to it. Should be good.
Cool. Yeah. Does anybody out there that's watching or listening have a question for any of us?
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Ask the question.
Steve won't bite hard.
No.
See?
So we could say golf in Disney World they did correctly, although that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
They had the forethought to put, the more vacation aspects over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's like something I think if they did today, they might not, think about that. Like some of the new hotels, they don't have.
A lot of people, I don't even think a lot of people realize they're there, to be fair. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I feel like some of them, like even like the mini golf courses as well, like, so like people don't even really go to them because they just forget about them. Like even the water parks, people forget about. Like I love the water parks, but yeah, it's just one of them. I think people just don't realize how much there is to do at Disney World because obviously it is for tourists essentially. Like it's not for like that. That's like the ideal place for tourists to go because you've got that and so much more there. So, but I don't think like the people that live in like Florida or the people that visit are like, yeah, what go to the parks, what do all this, but then they're like, they don't expand further out and be like, oh, there's more to the property that meets the eye because there's so much to explore and there's so much more space to even do even more with it in like the next few years with the budget and everything. So
yep.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I don't see any questions coming in or comments, and it seems like we might be pushing our time here, so it might be a good time to call it. Unless you guys have something else you want to bring up.
No, I'm good. I think we've.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
probably think of something after it's done. But
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Always the way.
always goes that way? Like, I forgot to bring that up.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's call it. Unless we want to look for Mark to come back, or
Mark. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be hopping back in a second. He had to step out. It started dumping rain, and I can tell you guys off show what happened.
okay. All right. So I guess since whoever's here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family, and be sure to subscribe to everyone here. If you haven't seen it, you can go back to the beginning, or I'll throw it into the description here shortly after we're done. Add the links to everybody's channels.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Mark's back.
yeah. So Mark, we're just gonna call it a night, and I was just telling everybody to like and subscribe, and I'll add your links to your channels in the description here after we're done. Anything else you wanted to add, Mark? Or are you good?
I'm glad we got a chance to do this. Thanks for inviting us on. Sorry, I'm all friend, and I had to go outside because I'm having some work done today.
Yeah.
So us to continue more, and I think Udi and I are going to be doing this on our own. I mean, well, not on our own. I mean, the LTP for the
Right.
YouTube audience. But I'm glad we got invited to this and do this again. Happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nice meeting you, man. I haven't met you yet. So today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been super. It's nice meeting you too, guys.
Yep. Good meeting you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then and Mark, that's a nice sign on the back on the wall there.
Oh, you must be a horn poster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, man, for that. I was
good.
blown away. It only took me like 8 months to get it from you.
Yeah, it was delivered.
Did he make you put it together?
It was delivered in a very timely fashion. I know what you're talking about.
Someone just like kept it for themselves. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family, and we will see you all a little later.
Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Bye.
Bye.